Hey guys, Warrior Sub here with another book review. And may I just say, it finally came out. It came out a day ago, and I got my hands on one, so Squirrelflights Hope. The super edition that happens between the Vision of Shadows and Lost Stars. First thing on this, I'm actually have mixed feelings about this book. The book starts out pretty strong and stuff about the clans needing to be together, and Sky Clan needed more territory. Well, more like Tiger Star wants more territory and wants to change the borders again because he's a grumpy person who can't deal with what he has. But yeah, it's weird how Squirrelflight keeps wanting to have more kids, but I understand, she misses being responsible for life, I guess, now that her kids are all grown up in the book. And it is actually, I give props to Squirrelflight speaking out to all the other leaders and that, trying to speak up and get into the conversation, try to help out all the clans. And then Brambles Star just got to be that one guy who was like, no, you have to speak to me before you can speak like that and stuff. And he just really puts Squirrelflight down throughout the whole book, which kind of makes me sad until the end when he finds out she was right all along. But yeah, it really does tie in some fillers between what happened in Vision of Shadows and Lost Stars, because there's a lot of stuff in Lost Stars that wasn't explained. But getting into the book, I do like how they did have this group of cats living in the territory that Squirrelflight was going to check out with the Sky Clan leader. But I don't like the fact that they kind of had the warriors let themselves be taken prisoner and they didn't try and fight, because believe me, if I know Leaf Star the way we know Leaf Star, she wouldn't just try and escape. No, she would be fighting her way out. Though I guess it does make sense. And I kind of do like how Squirrelflight and Leaf Star have this almost relationship in the book. How they both want to protect the sisters or whatever. Yeah, the sisters is what those cats call themselves. And I do like how the sisters aren't really bad. They are more just want to stay there for a little bit and move on, and the clans can have that territory. And kind of makes you feel bad throughout the whole book when the clans want to try and drive them out, and you're kind of on Squirrelflight's side the whole time. Unless you're one of those people who hate rogues. Now, the surprising part of this book was when we found out that Tree's mother was part of the group of cats called the Sisters, and that supposedly all the sisters have the power to see the dead, kind of like Tree, so we know how Tree got his powers now. And how he kind of actually has a grudge against his mother, and really doesn't like talking to her at all. Yeah, really doesn't like talking to his mother. And then as we move on, Tiger Star keeps on pushing for the sisters to be driven out because his warrior was deafened because of the sisters took out his ear, I guess. Shredded his ear by accident. But one part of the book I didn't like is the part that when they start dying, some of the ThunderClan cats, like Fernsong in particular, because of this new plant that's in the forest and stuff. And it's like, throughout the whole time living there, they haven't had to deal with this. But yeah, new poisonous plant that when prey eats the plant, it's poisonous to the cats. And I think they mostly did that so that, the sisters could give ThunderClan the cure and help out. But yes, Squirrelflights Super Edition. Almost funny that we actually got one. But moving on, Squirrelflight keeps on pushing to stop the clans from fighting with the sisters. In the end, it doesn't work, and eventually Bramblestar has to start giving in to the other clans. And I kind of think that it's dumb when Bramblestar let Wind Clan hunt on the land of the Moor that they got from the territory treaty because they weren't really using it, and then River Clan wanted their land back, and it started a battle between Shadow Clan and River Clan, because Shadow Clan can't be like, sure, you can hunt on that until this group of rogues leave. No, that's not what Shadow Clan does. Tiger Star says, fight me. And then he says, we should just all combine forces and get the rogues out of here so we can stop fighting on our borders. And that's pretty much what happens a lot. Then you have the main battle, which Leafpool and Squirrelflight both have dreams of Moon and her kids having problems, so they go there and help out. And then when the clans arrive to drive out the sisters, they all think that Squirrelflight was a traitor. Well, everyone but Brambleclaw and some of the warriors. But Crowfeather and Bristle, Crowfeather and Breezepelt call her out on being a traitor. And then they bring up some old memories about the Dark Forest and her lying to the entire clan about her kids not being hers actually. I'm talking about Jay Feather, Hollyleaf, and Lion Blaze. Sorry about the voice, but I had something stuck in my throat. But as we continue on this book, the battle happens. The kids were born. They get the kids out of there to a cave. The warriors eventually end up winning against the sisters. The sisters fall back to the cave. Tiger Star can't give in, so he sends his warriors up top to start digging out the cave, trying to bring them out. Leafpool and Squirrelflight try to stop them. There's a avalanche, rock slide. The cave slides in. Squirrelflight and them get the kids out and the others, but they end up being seriously injured and living in StarClan and living out of StarClan. They have one paw in, one paw out. And then Squirrelflight and Leafpool get caught up with their old kin and family members. They meet Firestar again, and that Squirrelflight meets her two kids that died. And then pretty much they didn't think they were gonna make it, so they held a trial to see if they were worthy to be in StarClan because of all the crimes they committed against the code. Multiple of the leaders had to agree on allowing them in. They got allowed in because pretty much Leafpool did it out of love, and she sacrificed everything in the end for it. And then Squirrelflight did it out of the compassion of wanting to help everyone. Everything she did was to help and to protect other people. So they got allowed into StarClan in the end. Squirrelflight found a way how to go into the world like a spirit, and she talked to Tree, telling him what to tell Bramblestar if she died. A last farewell, if you may. But then in the end, Leafpool didn't recover, and that's how she made it to StarClan. From her injuries, she didn't recover, but Squirrelflight did. She woke up in the medicine den. And yeah, then it takes the time for her to recover and stuff, and her and Bramblestar get on the good sides of each other again, him saying that she was right all along. He shouldn't have done it. It wasn't the right thing to do, the compassionate thing to do. And well, then she goes and checks on the sisters, which are living in a SkyClan camp until they leave now, since SkyClan didn't really want part of it anyway, and let leaders go drive them out when they didn't take part in it. And pretty much, Moon ended up dying. Her kids are being taken care of by the rest of the sisters, and they continue on their journey. And Brambles Star tells Squirrelflight about how he couldn't continue being leader without her. And that's pretty much it. That's Squirrelflight's Hope.